What's up, YouTube? Coming at you guys with another cool video. This topic's gonna be a little bit interesting. So, now, and this does not go for all cops, because not all cops do this. A good portion do, but not all of them do that, and I just wanted to point that out. But let me say something. So basically, let's say you drive a nice car. Let's say you have a nice outfit. Let's say anything you own or whatever, the police assume that you have a lot of money or whatever. You will become a target before anybody who doesn't look like they have money at all, period. And the reason why is a little thing called asset forfeiture. Now, let me give you an example. Let's say that you had a large sum of cash that you pulled out of your bank that you made legally, but you pulled it out of your bank. Let's say you pulled 80 grand out of your bank for whatever reason. Doesn't really matter. Let's say you're buying a truck or a car, or maybe you were going to go buy a house or a mobile home or something. But just an example, let's say you've got 80 grand, right? Let's say you even have proof, like receipts, or maybe even, let's see, like an e-statement saying that that money was in your bank and that you pulled it out. Well, with asset forfeiture laws, basically the police, if they find a large amount of cash, they could pretty much seize it from you and make you come to court and fight to prove that you legally own that money to get it back. And the crazy thing about it to me is, you know, how are you going to do that if they do have proof that they pulled it out of their bank and stuff? But there's plenty of examples where the cops have still taken someone's money or whatever and not given it back to them. And you basically couldn't do anything about it because asset forfeiture literally lets cops keep money that they find, that they seize. So basically, in like raids and things like that, if they find money, they can keep it. That's why money is the main key. The main thing that they look for is because they get to keep that. Now, the weird thing about asset forfeiture is it was created for a totally different reason in the first place, and it was abused later on. But basically, let's say a cop pulls you over, right? They thought you had a slick ride or whatever. They pull you over, make up some BS reason. Let's say you get even past that reason that they pulled you over. But now, out of nowhere, they're asking you, do you have any narcotics, any guns or weapons in the vehicle? And your answer to all that is no. Now, let's say that the cop comes around and he asks you, you know what, you got any large sums of cash in the vehicle? Just like everything else, even if you did, you should always say no or not consent to any searches, because as soon as you tell them that you had a large sum of cash, no matter how that you got that cash, you're basically giving them the okay to try to like look at the cash and start investigating the cash. You're basically helping them screw you over. Now, I saw a video example where someone got pulled over and they were explaining that they had $87,000 on them that they pulled out from their bank, and they were able to show all that stuff. The cops still kept the money and took the money. And that person had to go through lots and lots of time of fighting to get their money back, and their kids didn't have food and things like that. They were making their family struggle by doing that, even though the guy had the money legally, rightfully. But the guy didn't feel scared to tell them that he had a large sum of cash because he didn't believe it was illegal. Keyword illegal. He did not believe that it was illegal. So basically, he lets them search his car, finds out that that was the wrong action because they pretty much robbed him legally. And he had to wait like 6 months at least before going to court and being able to get his money back. And I'm pretty sure if I heard correctly, he didn't even get all of the money back. They basically still robbed him and kept some of that money by making him pay for court fees, public defender, whatever the hell. But yeah, that's the number one reason why when a cop pulls you over, you never consent to searches, especially when it has nothing to do with the traffic stop or reason that they were stopping you for. All it takes is having some money that they assume is illegal. They could just make it up and say it's illegal and just take it from you. Straight up. No ifs, ands, or buts. And like I'd said, any circumstances. I've got a friend that got pulled over here, and he got pulled over for no tags, dude. Dude was scared of cops even though he's not even a bad kid. You know, they asked him if they could search his vehicle, and yes, he did let them. But that's aside the point. Why would you want to look in someone's vehicle for pulling someone over for expired tags when that has nothing to do with anything else? It did not smell like drugs or anything. That's just an example. But basically, it's a fishing trip. They're fishing, trying to get you to admit things. And anything you say, like let's say that a cop asks you, hey, were you speeding? Or do you believe you were speeding or whatever? And you say, I might have or whatever. You just gave them that court case. They can win based off of what you said. You never ever want to admit to or say anything about it. You want your lawyer present. You plead the fifth. I don't answer questions. You don't want to deal with that. As soon as you say anything that implies that you might have done it or something like that, or say anything that could be used against you, they will, and they will win. So, how can you stop that from happening? Not consent to searches. And you know, one of the first things that they're going to say to you is, you scared? Is there a reason you don't want me to search your vehicle or whatever? And you know, the only reason you need to give is, I stand up for my rights. I do not have to. That's simply why. I don't even have to answer the question. Like, my rights protect that, and I'm sticking up for my rights. You don't even, like I said, have to tell them that. It's just the law. But they're going to try to make it seem like, oh, why are you scared? You got something to hide? No. I am not going to help you prosecute me or try to get me a ticket. I am not going to help you try to incriminate me. So like when they ask questions like, were you speeding? And you say, I don't know. Simple word, I don't, or simple phrase, not word. The simple phrase, I don't know. That's enough to convict you because you were not paying attention to your speed and you said it. So you should have just been quiet. You don't have to answer those questions. You really don't. You don't have to help a cop convict you. It is not your job to incriminate yourself. I hope this advice helped somebody. And it would mean a lot if you like, share, and maybe even subscribe to my channel if you want more content. Peace.